This is Damon Tenen from www.mygedlive.com, and on this presentation I am going to be showing you exactly what to expect and what to prepare for the GED test. More than anything I can tell you, it's simply this: you have to know what to expect on the test. Most people have put off taking the GED test for years and years and years simply because they do not know what is on the test, and that is what I'm going to be explaining in these slides here. Number one, if you know what's on the test, you're going to be more confident because you're aware of what's going to be there. You know what you're going to see. And so you're going to feel a lot better and a lot stronger about taking the GED test. You're going to be more focused because you're going to know what to study, because you're going to know what the things that are going to be covered are. And then also it's going to allow you to plan. One of the key things I tell students all the time is that when you go take the GED test, you need to have a plan. You can't go there expecting to get every single question right. You have to have a plan and some idea of how you're going to do. So to that point, I want to talk to you about the GED writing test. There are two parts to the GED writing test. So first, let me tell you about part one. Part one is basically the grammar section. And on the grammar section, you're going to have correction type questions, which is you're going to be correcting punctuation, you're going to be correcting spelling, revision type questions where you will be revising sentences, rewriting them so they better convey meaning, and then construction shift. You're going to be given a memo or a business letter, and you are going to be tasked with changing the construction of paragraphs and sentences so that they flow better. All of these things make up the grammar section. Now I want you to watch one thing here, which is the percentages. The percentages are very important because in order to pass the GED test, you don't have to get 100%. Again, like I said on the previous slide, you can't go to the test expecting to get every single question right or trying to get every question right. You got to go there with a plan. And so these percentages allow you to plan out. In my Get Your GED Now test preparation series program, I delve deeply into this and show you how to use these percentages to your advantage. There are 50 multiple choice questions. Your goal is to get about 30 to 34 of those correct. So you can miss anywhere from 20 to anywhere from 14 to 20 questions on this multiple choice test and still get a good score. Part two is essay, and essay is all about a clear answer, a clear response to the prompt or the question. Most of you are probably familiar with the classic 5-paragraph GED, the classic 5-paragraph essay. This is what this is. Again, the Get Your GED Now test preparation series delves in deeper with that. Now, social studies. One of the most common misperceptions about social studies is that you need to go back and study history, that you need to know the date when George Washington crossed the Potomac or something of that matter. But you do not. Although social studies covers U.S. history and world history and civics and government, econ, geography, but it is not a test about those things. It is a reading test about those matters. Let me give you an example. You are going to be given a chart about rainfall some in the world, and they're going to say what part of the world does it rain the most in, or something like that. That's going to be what you see, the first percentage there, comprehension, a comprehension type question. You're going to have application type questions, which they give you some information, then you use that information in different contexts. They're going to give you analysis questions where you look for implication, meaning. They're going to give you an evaluation question where you look for what's true, what's opinion, what's true, what's false, and those types of questions. So again, the GED social studies test is not a test about social studies per se. You're given social studies information, and you're going to be tested on these 4 question areas. Again, the power of my program is that if you're weak in one of these question areas, you don't have to worry, because you only need to get a certain percentage of these questions correct to pass. Again, your goal is to shoot for about 30 to 34 of these 50 multiple choice questions correct, and you are in. Science, much like social studies, this is not a test that you need to go back and study how cells divide, or how what's the process of photosynthesis. But again, these are the subjects that are covered: life science, earth and space science, and physical science. But you're not being tested on those subject matters per se. Again, as I showed you in the previous slide, you are going to be tested on the four basic reading skill kinds of questions: comprehension, application, analysis, and evaluation. And again, like I said on the previous slide, the power of the Get Your GED Now test preparation series program is that you get to choose the areas that are best for you, and you get to plan them out. You get to be focused. You get to have a strategy. You get to have a plan. So when you sit down and take this test, you know what's coming, you know how you're going to do on it, and you're going to have success. Again, reading. Now, the reading test is a tad bit different, and I'm going to say a little bit about that here. Again, you're not being graded so much on a certain subject matter, but with the reading test, you're going to have poetry and drama and prose and nonfiction tests and business letters and critical reviews of arts and that kind of thing. Again, you're still going to have these skill areas. There is a new skill area. If you take a look at the bottom skill listed, there's synthesis. Synthesis is really a combination of analysis and evaluation. I talked about the evaluation skill in the past two sides about social studies and science. But again, you're doing comprehension, you're doing application, you're doing analysis, and synthesis is going to really be related to poetic text, or to drama or prose text that you're going to come across on the GED test. Again, remember, the power of the Get Your GED Now test preparation series is that you get to choose what you're going to do best on, plan it out, be focused, and go and take the test with a wonderful plan for GED success. Now, everybody's most hated subject, math. By and large, more than anything else, I've been teaching GED prep since 2001. And the thing I know is that math is the one thing that anybody taking the GED test has in common. This is the thing that gives everybody trouble. Math is a two-part test. On part one, you can use the calculator. On part two, you cannot. There are 50 questions. 7 of those are direct answer questions. There's no multiple choice. You just gotta find the answer. There's 2 coordinate grids where you have to plot points, or find slopes or things like that on a coordinate graph grid. And then there's 41 multiple choice questions. Again, the great thing about the GED test is that they tell you the percentages of the types of questions that you're going to see on the test. So you're going to have 20 to 30% of number and operations. Those are things like fractions, percents, ratio, proportion, basic shape measurement. You're going to have things like measurement. You're going to have 20 to 30% of measurement and geometry. You're going to have 20 to 30% of data analysis, statistics, probability, and 20 to 30% of algebra. Okay, so just cut it down the middle and say 25% for each of these 4 sections. The great thing about this is that you don't have to do any algebra. You can just eliminate the whole subject of algebra. Okay, why? How can you do that? Well, in order to pass, you're looking to get about anywhere from 30 to 32 correct on this test. So that means you can miss 18 questions. So even if you missed every single algebra question, say there were 10 to 12 algebra questions on the test, and you missed every single one of them, that is still not enough to make you pass. And again, that is the power of the Get Your GED Now test preparation series. This is how I show you. This is how I prepare you. This is what I teach you, so that you do not spend hours and hours studying away for things that are not are not going to come to you so quickly. And so we focus on those more basic skills, using the percentages again, so that allowing you to plan and have success on the GED test. So why do we do this? Why am I sharing this PowerPoint slide with you? Because most people are overwhelmed when it comes to thinking about the GED test. They feel like they're just carrying this humongous burden. They feel like there, there's all these unknowns, and they feel like they're carrying a gigantic cement rock. We want to make you feel like this. We want to make you feel like you have a plan, you have a mission, and you are well trained and you are ready for the race. We want to do this quick. This program, average person can get through within 4 to 8 weeks, depending upon how much time you have available to study. Because in a short amount of time, we want you to cross that finish line, and that's what it's all about. And that's the essence of the Get Your GED Now test preparation series. Bottom line, it's about this. When you go and apply for that job, or you go to apply to become a part of that school or that particular program of study, and you come to that place in the application that says, do you have your high school diploma or GED? It is a yes, no question. Very, 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 very few circumstances is someone going to say, well, what did you score on the GED social studies test? Or what did you score on the GED math test? It's just a yes or no question. Do you or do you not have your GED or high school diploma? The Get Your GED Now test preparation series is about you being able to answer that question. Yes. Everything we're talking about, everything this PowerPoint presentation is about, it's about a new approach to GED prep. It's not about going back and trying to relearn all these skills. It's not about stressing out. It's not about getting an A. It's not about acing the test. It is about passing the test. In order to pass the test, you need to get an average score of 450 with a no test score below 410 and at least a 2 on your essay. The Get Your GED Now test preparation series is all about those three numbers and all about helping you to pass and have success on the GED test. It is a new approach. It's not the old school approach of grinding away in school. It is about you getting what you need and getting on with the rest of your life. So, what do you need to study? And again, the program goes more in depth into this, but let me just give you some broad strokes. You need to study math, but just the basics: fractions, percents, ratio and proportions, basic shape measurement. You need to know the skills. So you need to know how to multiply a fraction, but you also need to know how to interpret a word problem to know if they're asking you to either multiply a fraction or divide a fraction or add it or subtract it. You need to know how to read charts and graphs, and you need to know how to use formulas. You don't have to memorize the formulas, but you need to know how to use them. Again, and this is what the Get Your GED Now test preparation series prepares you to do. It gives you these basics, and we tell you exactly what you need to study, taking all the guesswork out of it. What do I need to study? Writing, but just the basics. You need to know how to write a 5-paragraph essay. You need to know how proper English grammar sounds. Give you an example here. They is the best team, or they are the best team. So when you come to revision or correction questions on the test, that you're able to do that. And we show you how to use just your own knowledge, your own understanding of the English language, and helping you to use those things to be successful. Again, and you need to know how to read charts. You need to know how to read graphs, and you need to know how to uh, use formulas as they relate specifically to mathematics. So at the end, it's all about you. I talk to literally anywhere from 30 to 50 people a week, all around the country, New York City to Florida to Louisiana to Texas and to California, where we're based. And it's all about you. It's all about you being ready. It's all about you stopping procrastinating and getting on with